Okay guys, welcome to part 2 of the dotting the Dalia. We are going to put top dots on. So, without further ado, remember the first time we did Jasper Red, which is from Color Art. It looks like this in the container. But this is what it looks like when it comes out. You want to use about an eighth or a quarter of a teaspoon of the scoops. I think that's probably about an eighth. If you find that your dots are like drooping, like you got a bunch of color down here but you can almost see through the top of the dot, then you're going to need to add more pigment. But you mix this, the scoop of this, with about a half ounce of this and a half ounce of this paint. It makes the perfect, cup. I get these cups from Amazon. They have these nice little lids. If you don't use your paints every day, I would say every couple days you want to come in and stir them just to keep them vivid and alive. So again, the first we put Jasper Red down, which is this color here. This Ambrosia is a different kind. Same maker, Color Art, but this time it's already pre-mixed into a wonderful bottle for you. Look at this. That's so pretty. But this is the Ambrosia. This is Prism Pour. It's multi-surface acrylic paint. You can use it in canvas, wood, metal, glass, and the best part, it's made in the USA. So our first dot, I've already stirred this paint. That's why I've got a little bit of bubbles, but those will work themselves out as I put my tools in. This first dot, you want to use a number 7 because the white dot is a number 9, the red dot is a number 8, and you want to go one size smaller than what you did previously. And we might need to do an 8. Yeah, I think we're going to do an 8. No. Let's try the 7 first, and if it's too small, we can go bigger. So we're going to try 7, dip our tool, load it up about that much, make sure your end is completely covered. Try to get this in the center as close as possible. Yeah, that's perfect. 7 worked out great. So now, because we laid down, okay, so the white dot was a 3, the red dot on the first ring was a 2. Now we need to go to a toothpick because I don't even think the number 1 tool is going to be small enough. Yeah, it's going to cover that dot. So we just want to do a little tiny bit of this, and to get this center dot, these dots, I have to tilt the rock just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing because they are so close together and so tiny. Part of the reason I picked up doing this art was because I needed some kind of a distraction from my pain level. I have peripheral neuropathy in my hands, my legs, and my feet. I'm in a constant amount of pain. So being able to do something like this takes my mind off of it without having to take heavy medications. So I appreciate doing art so much now. Used to, I didn't do that. I didn't really have anything as a buffer. It helps to have a buffer for sure when you're in so much pain all the time. Alright, we're going up to the second ring of dots and we're doing a number 1. And you want to try to get that dot as close to the inner part of that circle as possible. You don't want to lay it down centered. We're layering the dots a little because we want the 3D flower petal effect. And I think I had some dried paint drop on there. I did. If I can get up here where you can see it, you can see where I'm laying them. Let's see. Yeah. It's easier to show you guys up here how they come out looking like petals. I thought about trying to do like my hypnotherapy meditations during these, but it would be a little hard with trying to instruct you on what I'm doing and colors and all that jazz. And luckily today I don't have anybody here, so I can record without worrying about anything in the background. Number 2, which is the other end of the one. This is Mark's Mandala tools. I didn't like the way that one laid down, so I went back and did it again. Oh, that was so close, guys. I can't tell you how many times I have dropped my rock upside down and ruined the whole piece, but it can be fixed. Just takes a little work. That's part of my peripheral neuropathy, dropping things. So you have to be really careful. Gosh, it's so quiet in here. You can find a lot of good dot artists on YouTube, Facebook. All you're going to do is look for Mandala dot art. This started years and years ago with people that would take pencils and they wouldn't draw, but they would, it's called pointillism, where you would take your pencil and dot, 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 and make pictures. And then somebody had the brilliant idea of turning it into this. Alright, we're going to go to a number 3. You can see on my number 3 I practiced a little bit and taught when I was teaching a little bit of a class once. Have some glooped up paint I need. Oh, how did that happen? I might have to fix that. See that right there? That's a mistake. I've rubbed over it and didn't realize it. So I will have to skip that dot most likely and come back to it. But I will go ahead and lay down the red over it. Okay, so let me find that dot. Okay, so let's see. That was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is a number 7. We're going to fix this dot. Voila. And then when that dries, I can come back in and get that smudge of red off. Okay, so we were at a number 3. Now we're going to go to a number 4. I actually think we might need to go to a number 5. Yeah, we're going to a 5. And we might even need to go up from there. Yep, we're going to a 6. Oh yeah, much better. Did. Now we're going to stick with 6 because I did 7 on that row. So the one that is wet, I might be able to lay the dot on, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. Here it is. Oh, it allowed me to do it. Again. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Usually you technically want to wait until the paint is dry, but because I've been doing this for a little while, sometimes I can get away with it. Sometimes. One thing about these paints, and you dot artists are going to love, is they just lay beautifully. I haven't had any problems with like separation, snapbacks, or anything like that. Some of the metallic paints, some of the shimmer paints that we buy from Folk Art, Deco Art, or an off-brand, they're just not as good of quality. And once I got my hands on these paints, I don't think there's going to be any turning back. They are so beautiful, and the way they fill themselves in is just amazing. Sometimes you have these droopy dots, and you don't even get that with this. Like over on the corners, like where as it comes down off the rock, it's just they're beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've went all the way around. Now we're going to go up to a 7. I think we have come all the way around. Moving on up to an 8. I want to fill this red dot in just a little bit. There's a little bit of a shadow on it, so I think this is a 9. Let's see. Yeah. Just gonna lay down a little bit and we'll come back and do that. Okay. Sometimes you can fix your mistakes easily, other times you can't. So that was the dot that I just laid. I'm gonna blow on it a little bit. Another good thing about these paints is they dry rather quickly. Like folk art, deco art, those kind of paints, or any other paints I've used, I've always had to wait a day before I could go back and put top dots on. With this paint, it's probably hour, hour and a half, and then I'm ready to go. All right, number 8. I think that's the one I just laid, but I don't know. Yes, it is. Okay. Might have to do that again because I just put that on top of the wet paint. That's not working, so we're going to take that off. And we are going to lay that red dot down again. Because I blew on it, I lost track of where I was. All right, turn it. Number 8. Now that one that is wet, we are going to come back and do that after we lay down the last row. So we give it a little bit more time to dry. So we're going to set that 8 to the side and we're going to go with our number 9 and move on while we're waiting on that to dry. I have been dotting for probably about 3 or 4 years now. Alright, so we're going to try to lay this dot down. I don't know if it's going to work. If it doesn't, we're going to wipe it off and come back and do it again. It looks like it is not going to be cooperative. It's going to keep pulling up the red paint. Yep. So, you know, that we will come back and fix this. But you know, I might just be able to lay down the red one and let's see what happens, or the ambrosia, and see what happens, because it might cover that spot. Yeah, it doesn't. It looks tacky, and I'm just not one of them tacky people. I do try to sell my art. So, we're going to take it off, and we're going to let it dry in the red, And then I will come back in and do a top dot on that once it's completely dry, because it's giving me a hissy fit. And I've done it twice now and I just did not get past it. So fix the dot, let it dry, and I will come back in and top dot that. But this is what it looks like when it is completely done. Well, it's not completely done. I have to put a resin coat on it, but I try to get a bunch of stuff done first and then I come back in and do the resin, and I will make a video of that as well when I have some more products. Alright, thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you real soon.